Sparky, a scruffy terrier mix, loved his evening walks. Sniffing every blade of grass, chasing after the occasional squirrel, these were the highlights of Sparky's day. His tail wagged furiously, a blur against the setting sun. He knew the way, every twist and turn, leading back to his cozy home. Little did he know, tonight's walk would be different. Sparky was bringing home a guest. Bursting through the doggy door, Sparky ran straight to his food bowl, expecting dinner. Right behind him, a confused-looking raccoon peeked inside, its tiny paws hesitant on the welcome mat. Sparky, oblivious to his friend's apprehension, wagged his tail excitedly, nudging the raccoon towards his water bowl. "Plenty for two," his wag seemed to say. The raccoon, still unsure, cautiously sniffed the air. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from the bushes outside. 3 more raccoons emerged, their eyes gleaming with curiosity and mischief. They cautiously stepped forward, sniffing the air and looking around as if assessing their new surroundings. They were followed by a very plump squirrel, its cheeks stuffed with acorns to the brim. The squirrel seemed almost comical, waddling with its heavy load, but it was determined to join the gathering. Sparky, thrilled with his growing guest list, barked a happy greeting. His tail wagged furiously, creating a rhythmic thumping sound against the floor. He could hardly contain his excitement as more and more animals joined the impromptu party. The house, usually quiet and peaceful, was now filled with the sounds of clicking claws, rustling fur, and happy dog barks. The once serene living room had transformed into a lively hub of activity, with animals exploring every nook and cranny. The raccoon, emboldened by the new arrivals, finally took a tentative sip from Sparky's bowl. It glanced around nervously at first, but soon relaxed, realizing it was among friends. The sense of camaraderie was palpable, as if the forest itself had followed Sparky home. Section 4. Coming Home to Chaos. The front door creaked open and Sparky's owner, a kind-faced man named John, walked in. He had just returned from a long day at work, looking forward to some peace and quiet. He stopped, his eyes widening at the sight before him. The living room, which he had left tidy in the morning, was now a whirlwind of activity. Raccoons scurried across the floor, knocking over a vase and scattering papers everywhere. The squirrel perched on the lampshade, chattering away as if it owned the place, its tiny claws gripping the fabric. And Sparky, in the middle of it all, wagging his tail with pride, clearly pleased with the chaos he had orchestrated. John blinked, rubbed his eyes, and looked again. The scene hadn't changed. It was as if he had walked into a wildlife documentary. He chuckled, shaking his head in disbelief. Despite the mess, he couldn't help but smile at the sheer absurdity of it all. This was his home, chaotic but filled with life and unexpected surprises. Section 5. Embracing the unexpected. The raccoons, startled by John's sudden arrival, scurried back out the doggy door, their tiny feet pattering against the floor. The squirrel, always the curious one, scampered after them, its bushy tail flicking with excitement. Sparky, slightly disappointed but ever the vigilant observer, watched them go with a mix of curiosity and longing. John, still chuckling at the unexpected chaos, patted Sparky's head reassuringly, a smile spreading across his face. Life with Sparky was never dull. Every day brought new adventures and surprises, making their bond stronger and more unique. He realized, as he watched his loyal companion, that these unexpected encounters were what made their relationship so special and memorable. They were constant reminders that joy and happiness could be found in the most unlikely of friendships and situations, making life richer and more fulfilling.